my first foray into this was last year or 2 years ago now, actually. I started spin fishing for trout in Wisconsin creeks. And that started to like light the fire of like, okay, I see why people do this. Like pulling, an 18-inch brown out of a creek that's as wide as this table is really fun to me. That was really cool. So I'm starting to think, okay, I get why people do it. And then now I'm to the point where I think I have that understood. And now I'm ready to take the leap to fly fishing. And I just bought a fly rod last week. I'm pretty pumped up about it. But that's why I was invested in your journey too, because I was seeing it. But yeah, is that an accurate depiction for you? Is that what you think about it? Is it?
I just think, there's so many different variables going into it, and like sensory wise, there's so much going on that you have to be locked in, you have to be focused, but there's so much beauty around you. And like, I'll just focus in on like, I find a hole that I want to cast to, because I think there might be a trout there. And it's like, you're just trying to get the perfect cast, and you get the cast to land, and you're already feeling like, oh yeah, like I just hit the perfect cast. I put it right where I needed to. Like, you don't even care whether or not a trout jumps out and grabs your fly or not. And then it's almost like, sometimes if you're not catching much, maybe it's just me, but like you just get so into the rhythm of casting and like delivering your cast where it needs to go and looking for holes and finding cool stuff around the creek, and just like you're so into it. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like a fish jumps out and grabs you, or you feel the tension on your line, and you're like, it's almost like sucks you back in. You're like, oh, like that's why I'm here. It's super rewarding. But yeah, you can get totally immersed into it, a lot like bow hunting in that regard, where it's like you have to be completely into it. And if you are able to get into it like that, like it's so rewarding. It's such an intimate experience. And yeah, it's hard to, if you don't know, like if you're listening to this, you don't fly fish or you don't bow hunt, you're like, what are they talking about? But if you're someone who does, like, yeah, it makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. You're like so engaged. It's just so much fun, so rewarding.
That's the part I'm looking forward to it about. I've been telling this story a lot recently about just passions. It comes up in conversation a lot with me, because I very quickly, even with new people, I got to spend like over an hour with a dude from Istanbul the other day. He's a doctor in town. I went to this cool event, and like very quickly we got past, what do you think of Green Bay, to like, what's your passion? What makes you live? And that's what it is for fly fishing for me. I'm excited to feel that, because that's when I feel alive, is when I'm immersed in the outdoors. That's when I feel like I'm doing what I'm truly meant to do as a human. Like, I love all the other stuff. It gives me satisfaction, fulfillment. But outside of like being a dad or a husband, being in the outdoors is what makes me feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I can't wait to swing the fly rod and feel that, because spin fishing you do in a certain way, but it's still mechanical of sorts. And I think I'm going to get there. And I think a good equivalent for that for me is I love bow hunting from the ground. I think bow hunting from the ground is the funnest thing. And I've been bow hunting now for, 25 years or whatever it is. And I still haven't taken a deer from the ground. I could have. Like, I'm pretty selective about the deer I harvest. So like, I've had a lot of these close encounters that like, I don't even care if I harvest that deer. I was on some public land last year, and a really good example of this is I was on some public land, and it was this place that I really had to truck back into. It was a long ways. It was probably like, I don't know, 4 miles, something like that. Like, it was an entire morning just to get there to hunt, the afternoon. And I found this really cool spot where obviously I'd never been there, and I laid on my backpack, and I was laying on my back on the ground. And this little, like, it was either a 3 or 5 pointer. I can't remember if it had brow tines, but like walked up. And it was clearly somewhere where people didn't go very much. He wasn't really thinking about me. And there was a scrape in front of me to the left, and he walked up to that scrape. And then all of a sudden, like, he realized like something was amiss a little bit, but he didn't know what it was. I had a really good wind. That's what I was hoping for to happen. I was hoping it was going to be a bigger buck, but turns out it was him. And he looked, and he was trying to figure out what was going on. And there's not a whole lot of bow hunters laying on the ground out in the woods, so I don't think I had a lot of favor in my thing. And he walked towards me a little bit, and he ended up coming up and sniffed my crossbow next to me, laying on the ground. And I could have like tickled his nose. Like my hand was right there and I could have tickled his nose. And I'm just being dead still. And I just remember thinking in that moment, like, that's invigorating. That's truly being alive and like integrating yourself into the environment. And then I relished it for a little while, and then I tickled my hands a little bit, and he realized what I was and took off. But that thing, I think, is what draws me to fly fishing. Is that, I don't know yet because I haven't done it, but is that what you're getting at?
Yeah. And I'd say too, like, everyone starts spin fishing or they like to spin fish. Like that's awesome. But to me, it's almost like the fish it's more of a reaction bite, which like they see something flashing and they just want to like bite it. You know, it's more of like if you hit someone's knee and they kick their foot, it's like, oh, I made them kick. Whereas like when you're fly fishing, like you're looking to see like what exactly are they eating right now, and like what fly that I tied or I bought like looks exactly like whatever they're eating, and then where are they and how can I get this right in front of them. And then when that fish bites, it's not like, oh, I saw something shiny, I'm just gonna knee-jerk reaction and go after it. Like they are completely committed. Like they think 100% that it like they're about to just eat a bug. You know, and then that's when you set the hook. So it's just, it would be like, yeah, a person actually like going up and kicking a ball versus like hitting their knee. Like you're completely tricking, I guess, but I don't think tricking is like the right terminology. It's just like you're being in the moment more. Like you're not taking away from the experience. You're more so like blending into the surroundings, if that makes sense.
Exactly what I was getting at, dude. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. That's exactly what you're immersed in it. You're part of it.
Yeah.
As opposed to this disconnected way of it.